Mr. Mana, what kind of foods do butterflies eat?
So, butterflies usually eat sugary things, and they're mostly feeding on nectar from plants. Now, nectar is a sort of sugary substance that plants make specifically to get butterflies and other insects to come to them. So, the butterflies use something called a proboscis. Now, a proboscis is basically a big straw. They have it curled up on the underside of their what would be their faces most of the time, but when they're looking to eat, they stretch and uncoil that proboscis. It then dabs down into the flower and it'll take up that sugary nectar, and that's mostly how butterflies eat. There are some butterflies that will eat bits of fruit as well, so if there's some old and rotten banana hanging around somewhere or some old bits of orange, they'll quite happily sit down onto that and they'll stretch out their proboscis and they'll take up whatever they can get sugar-wise from those as well.
A proboscis. Proboscis.
My name's Lila, and my question is, do Komodo dragons eat their prey whole?
Yes, they do. Komodo dragons do eat their food whole. They don't really like to chew. Ganas recently had a Christmas turkey. It was 5 kilos, and he ate the whole thing in one bite. It took him about half an hour. The only things they will take chunks off is something they physically can't fit in their mouth. So a large animal like a deer.
A whole Christmas turkey in one go. Gobble gobble.
Hello, my name's Khalil. What food do penguins eat?
Really, really good question. So our penguins here are famous for eating fish. So they eat a lot of fish. So the fish here at the zoo that they like to eat is something called sprat. And we have 71 of them. And they actually can eat around 40 kilos of fish a day. So that's half of my body weight, which is pretty impressive for our fantastic penguins here. And they actually have these fantastic, very, very sharp beaks that help them to grab hold of the fish and then swallow it down whole, which is pretty impressive. So next time you come to the zoo, use your nose, have a little sniff, because you'll definitely be able to smell all of that fishiness coming off of our fantastic penguins.
40 kilograms of fish per day. That's a lot of lunch. Full penguin tummies.
Are lions or omnivores?
Lions are obligate carnivores. That means that they have to eat meat, so they will only eat meat, and they can eat anything from buffaloes, antelopes, to chickens and smaller prey.
Do lions eat chicken?
Here at London Zoo, our 2 lions, one of them doesn't like chicken and one of them does. Once I worked with a lion who was so fussy she wouldn't eat chicken. So if you touch chicken and then touch her meat, she wouldn't eat it, regardless of what it was, even if it was her favourite thing. She wouldn't eat it.
That is a very fussy lion.
Hello, my name is Anna, and I'm wondering if zookeepers can predict if elephants are hungry by their movements.
Hi Anna, that is a fantastic question. Now actually, that is a very difficult answer, because elephants are always hungry. Now their digestive systems just aren't very good, which means they're not getting all the nutrients from the food that they eat. So that means they have to eat all the time. So they'll be always walking around in search for food, looking for grass, logs, trees, branches, and we always put out hay for them to eat as well. And the hay is put out in huge nets really, really high. So the elephants have to put their trunks up super high and use that little tiny finger on the edge of their trunk to get the hay out of the net. Now we also have some really clever elephants as well that will often find huge logs, push them over to the hay nets and stand on them to reach the hay nets a little bit easier. Because in fact, elephants are a little bit lazy, but their balance is absolutely impeccable.
I didn't know the end of elephants' trunks worked like a finger. That's so cool.
Hello, I'm Laffy. What do they eat?
Hi, Raffi. Flamingos eat lots of little things. They do something called filter feeding. So they take in whatever is around their beak when their beak is upside down. They'll take in everything. So it could be seeds, shrimp, algae, any of those things. And they will get rid of the water as they go. Flamingos generally live on salt water, so they have to get rid of the salt. And they do that by moving their head from side to side, which enables them to pick up all the foods, and it also means that they can extract the salt as well.
The flamingos move their heads sideways in a sort of very slow, leading with the head figure 8 movement. And they go backwards and forwards, but really slowly.
My name is Rayan, and why do flamingos have pink feathers?
The flamingos have pink feathers because of the food they eat. It contains something called carotenoids, which is what makes carrots orange and tomatoes turn red. And it's found in the algae that they eat and also the shrimp that they eat as well.
Ah, carotenoids. Like carrots.
Hi, my name is Rehan. I'm 10 years old. How do giraffes eat?
When the giraffes eat their food, so all the leaves, they will chew their food at the back of their mouth, so their cheeks will get really, really big. Then they'll swallow that food and it'll go all the way down their neck. Couple of minutes later, that same food will come all the way back up into their mouths and they'll re-chew it. That's called regurgitation.
Well,
My name's Hafsan. I'm doing meerkats fight for food.
well, like all families, there are a few squabbles. With the food, what they'll tend to do is keep the food in front of them, where their mouth is. It's the best place to eat it. And then what they do is they turn their bums towards the other family member that they don't want to get their food. And they make this really amusing noise that's a bit like to try and keep the other ones away. But the other squabbles, you will see them squabbling sometimes, and they play wrestle. And then they'll jump up at each other, try and get hold of each other with their front paws. Sometimes they'll take little nips from their necks as well, but it's all just playing.
Enjoy more from Audiomoves. There are lots more episodes wherever you're listening now. Please subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Leave a review, share with your friends, tell everyone. Okay, thanks, bye!